So I know you said monitor your credit on Sundays, take 30 minutes. What does that look like?
That's an awesome question. Credit monitoring, it's literally just, it's monitoring. It's when you send, like, take me for example. So I'm signed up with MyFICO, myfico.com. So I love that website. It's the website of the Fair Isaac Corporation. They invented it. So I'm like, I'm going to the people who made the site and made the site. They made the program, and that's who my industry uses today. Besides, now the tricky thing is they will give you credit scores also. I'd love to say that like those are right 9 times out of 10, but they're not always right either. But the point is, I'm not worried about what the score is. I'm worried about what's on the credit. So for example, when you're monitoring your credit, especially if you have late payments, you want to pay attention. Did any lates come up? How are your credit card balances? You want to keep track of that. If you are paying off debt, is it updating that it's paid off and the balance is 0? So these are the things you want to pay attention to when you're monitoring it. And the monitoring, for someone who's not trying to repair their credit, you just sign up for the monitoring service and it'll ping you every time something happens. Your credit was checked, a collection hit you. You know, I had to go to, I stopped in the emergency room of the hospital. I had kidney stones. My goodness, just last year.
No fun.
Oh, those were not fun. I can tell you, those were not fun. So I had to stop into the hospital. So I was calling the hospital saying like, hey, how much is the bill? What is the bill? Like, and I have insurance, but I know from pulling people's credit and following it so much that like, I've seen so many people with like medical collections on them and they're like, Hesh, I've got health insurance. It should have been covered. And I'm like, health insurance doesn't cover everything. You know, and you want to pay attention at the end of the day. If health insurance doesn't cover it, if you don't pay it, it's going to end up on your credit. So you never know, a medical collection might hit you. So if you're not trying to fix your credit, a monitoring service, which typically costs $30 to $50 a month, it'll ping you when it hits you. If you're trying to fix your credit, as you pay off debts and things like that, you want to make sure that that's being updated correctly. So the monitoring is, let me check my credit. And when a consumer checks their credit, it has no effect on their score.
Oh, I did not know that.
I can go to MyFICO right now today and pull my credit. It'll have no effect on my score. It's not a hard inquiry.
Got it.
When I pull it, I'm like Jack the Ripper.
Right.
It's like bam. So every time your credit gets pulled, it's supposed to affect it adversely. 2 to 5 points is what the Fair Isaac Corporation says. So it's not a dramatic hit, and those are hard pulls. The soft pulls are when consumers do it for themselves, and it has no effect on the score.